watching this. My name is Maggie, and I am making my second YouTube video today. I was inspired over the weekend at the BFRB Conference, which is Body Focused Repetitive Behavior. If you watched my last video, you would know that I have trichotillomania. I also have dermatillomania. I pick at my skin. But trichotillomania is a hair pulling disorder. And basically in this video, I just kind of wanted to talk about the conference, and I also want to combine it with like a little bit of my story with like what I've been through so far with trichotillomania. So without further ado, I'm just gonna hop right in. So when I was in 7th grade, I think I was almost 12, it was right like the week before school started. I was at the pool and I started like pulling my hair, and I had noticed that like when you were out of the pool there was like a root attached to it, and I thought that was so cool. And then when I went into the pool, I was like, I wonder if there will still be a root attached to it. Spoiler alert, there is. So I happened to be a diver, so I was in the water quite often. So over the next few weeks, like school started, and I started a new diving team as well. So with all of that, things were like crazy. And I would be like in the pool, like on the side, and I would like go under and pull my hair, and then I would come up and pull my hair because I found satisfaction in both for some reason. So that was kind of how I started pulling. That was in September. By December, I asked my mom pretty much every day. I was like, can you just cut my hair? She's not a hairdresser, but I just needed my hair to be short. It was like down to here, and I was like, Mom, can you just chop my hair, please? So she went on to the TLC website, and they had some recommended salons that had experience with trichotillomania, and so she took me to one of those salons, and they actually took me in after the salon closed at night, which was really, really nice. So she chopped my hair to about like here, and it was so short. It was very strange and just weird, shorter than I had ever had it before. Weird on me personally. So that was right before winter break, about 2 days before winter break. I had my hair cut, and then winter break began, Christmas happened. I was sleeping in our spare room, and it just kind of like threw me off. I was sleeping on the air mattress because we didn't have a bed in there, and I just like basically became a hermit over the winter break, which I had friends at the time. I don't have any now, but I had friends at the time, and you know, we did hang out and everything, but when they weren't here, I was like locked in that room watching Netflix on the air mattress, and that was pretty much my winter break. And when you spend all day for like 5 days pulling your hair, it pretty much goes away. Like, so by the time I went back to school, I think I had like a strip of hair left, and I didn't go. I would not go to school. I spent a couple days at home, and my mom just didn't understand. She understood trick, sort of. She was trying to, at least, but she didn't necessarily understand why I didn't want to go to school. So I also cracked my knuckles. That's another BFRB. By the time I went back to school, the school told me that it would be okay if I wore a hat. So it's actually now in my IEP that if I need to wear a hat, I'm allowed to, because my school doesn't allow hats. So I went back to school, and I wore this like knit hat with a pom-pom on top, and I had two of them. I had a black one and I had a white one, and I wore those hats until they fell apart. I had so many different hats, and they just made me feel secure because they fit my head completely. So yeah, this is just really hard to talk about. So after a little bit, I started seeing a specific therapist that was for trichotillomania. That just didn't really work very well, but I started going to my first support group, and pretty much we've gone to 3 support groups so far, and 2 of them were in New Jersey. I live in Pennsylvania. 2 of them were in New Jersey, about an hour away, and so we travel quite a bit for the support that I need and the support that I have been getting since, you know, for 3 years. So, after a few months of, you know, going to the support groups and going to therapy, and we would, like, once a month, the support group would be on the same day as my therapy, so we would go to the therapy, and then we would go to the support group, and they were, like, pretty close to each other. So that's what we were doing for a while. And then unfortunately that support group did disband, but we found another support group that was really local, which was really, really nice because a lot of people don't have that. So I was going to that support group for probably close to a year, I would say. The doctor that held it retired. So when she retired, there was no more support group there. So then we started going to another support group and a therapist in New Jersey, and all the support groups, by the way, are for trichotillomania and like body focused repetitive behaviors, BFRBs. So when we started going to New Jersey, I started seeing a therapist who not specialized, but she knew quite a bit about trich, so she was able to help me with that. I don't see her at the moment, but we do still go to the group that's at the same office once a month. So I have that on Saturday. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so that's kind of like where I was at with like therapy and groups and like when I started pulling and everything. But I also, school was really hard. Just being hairless and not feeling cute, not feeling pretty. It's just really, really hard. I lost the friends that I had. I only had like a few of them. It was like a close, tight, small group, and that group just disbanded. You know, we stopped hanging out, we stopped talking, and then I didn't have any friends, and it was really hard going through this alone. I pretty much just had my mom, my dad, and my dog, and that was my support system. And that was really hard. By the end of 8th grade, I did reach out and I made my own friends. I was like, hey, can I hang out with you guys? I literally said that, and they were like, yeah, sure. So I was friends with those people for a little bit, and they were really, really good friends, but unfortunately we don't talk anymore. Right now, I'm by myself, you know, I have some really great friends through the community, but I obviously don't really get to see them. I just made a whole bunch of friends at the conference, but they live all over the country, so I don't get to see them, and all over the world too, which was crazy. I'm not gonna get to see them for another year, so that's gonna be hard. Okay, I want to talk about my experience with having a hairpiece or a wig or a unit, whatever. So from October of 2017 to the end of April of 2018, I wore a wig with like adhesive, so it was glued to my head. And that wig it changed my life. I like to say that it changed my life in such a good way, and then it also at points like felt like it was ruining my life, but looking back on it, pretty much, I don't know, it really impacted my life. Over the time that I had the wig, my hair grew so much because it was covered and I couldn't take the wig off to pull. It was stuck onto my head. So when I got it off in April, my hair was long. I could start to do things with it. It wasn't as long as it is now for sure, but it was, you know, at least 2 inches long. And before that, I barely had peach fuzz. Like, as soon as something would grow, I would pull it. And we were spraying my hair with root concealer, so my head was like brown and shiny, and that was like what my daily routine was. Once I started not wearing the hat every day. Flashback to last summer, 2018, I got the wig off, and my hair is like kind of short still. Kind of pretty short still, but way longer than it had been. And then when school started, I could start putting it in like little tiny buns. I was still pulling once I got the wig off, but it wasn't, for a while, it wasn't really impacting the way the hair looked. Once school rolled around, I started pulling my hairline again, which was my original trigger. I started pulling my hairline again, and that was pretty frustrating. I had my like McDonald's arches, as I like to say, and because I have a widow's peak, so it goes like that naturally, but when I pull, it goes back even further. I started pulling a lot more in the back, in the center, and I have a video from January that I just posted on my Instagram story the other day, like reposted, and it was the first time I had ever posted a picture of like my bald spots, but like this whole area, which is a lot shorter than the rest of my hair, for that reason, I had pulled all of that out, and I had like a bald spot like this big, like on top of my head, maybe even bigger. And that was crazy, that was hard. But not really, because my like new style had been like pulling it up like that, like in a half up, half down bun. So when I had that giant bald spot, it was really personally discouraging, but like looking from the outside in, it looked normal. Like, it didn't really look like anything until it started growing back. So that took us up to like January time, and then on January 12th, I had my first ever pull-free day, and today is May 8th, and I have not pulled since January 12th. So that is 116 days, I believe, and it's been really hard. It's been really, 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 really hard. You know, all day yesterday, I wanted to pull so bad. I twirl my hair a lot, and then sometimes hair comes out, and I beat myself up about it, and I know that it is not my fault, because my mom always says, she's like, if I go like this, a few pieces of hair would come out. But my hair just, it feels different. It's like, when the hair comes out for me, it's like, I gotta inspect the hair, I gotta look at it. Now I feel like I did it to myself. I am still going strong, I'm still pull-free, but if I break it tomorrow, I will probably be a little bit sad, or today, or next week, whatever. I'll probably be a little bit sad, but I'm not expecting this to last forever. You know, it was so weird, because I stopped pulling at one of the hardest times of my life, most stressful times of my life, and I I like to say my body just put like a little protection bubble around me and was like, you're going through this, you have low grades, you gotta get your grades up, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And it was like, pulling your hair won't help you. So by January 12th, my hair got to grow. So now my hair has been growing, like all these little baby hairs have been growing a lot. I got a haircut at the conference, so it feels a lot shorter, but it's really not at all. But she trimmed like the baby hairs and everything too, just to get them growing and everything. So now I'm gonna talk about the BFRB Conference. It was in Chantilly, Virginia, and it changed my life. I'm gonna cry. I miss it. I miss it so much. I'm really dealing with some sort of like post-conference sadness, and like I've been in some sort of slump and just like falling asleep in every single one of my classes, and like I don't know. It's really hitting me way more than I thought it would. I have been feeling just so sad, and I don't know. I just really missed the conference. I met so many people that I will think about and, remember forever. Hopefully I will see almost all of them next year. Well, hopefully I'll see all of them, but I'm really hoping to see a ton next year. We're already planning for that one. It's in Chicago, so that's exciting. Alright, so I did film a whole bunch more, but my camera stopped recording, and I completely lost all my train of thought. I just really talked about, learning to love myself, but I think that I am done with the video now. I'm gonna finish it here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you stuck around this whole time. I know it's gonna be long. But yeah, I think I have a video about Tourette syndrome and my journey with Tourette's coming up very soon. I'm really hoping. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Stay wonderful, everybody.